Welcome back to Power in Politics. Well, you think if there's an election coming? Well, find out, because nearly 100 Liberal candidates descended on Ottawa today for an election boot camp. We wanted to find out how they're preparing for a possible spring election. What's the Liberal strategy to win votes? The media wasn't allowed in there, but two Liberal candidates who were there, actually one who was there and one who just arrived from Gaspésie, Nancy Charest, a Quebec Liberal candidate and a former Liberal MNA in the Quebec legislature, is here. Good to see you after a long car trip today from Gaspésie, a beautiful area. And Max Kahn, a Liberal candidate on the Ontario riding of Oakville. Good to see both of you.
Thank you very much.
Max Kahn, let me start with you. You were there today.
I was.
What were you told behind closed doors? We're all speculating on election. What were you told?
Well, I think the first issue is that you called it a boot camp. I don't think necessarily it was a boot camp. It was an opportunity for us to meet other candidates, to discuss issues, topics. We did some extensive training on social media. We looked at the relevant portions of the Election Act. We looked at marketing and election strategy.
Before I get to Nancy, who wasn't there today, did you find out, did they tell you, Max, there's an election coming, get ready?
No, that was not discussed.
So you passed your first test of the training right there. Did you? That was Nancy, you weren't there. Why did you come from Gaspésie all the way down here? What are you hoping to learn?
Because I want to share with the team. I want to know what will be our strategy for the future. And we want to be well prepared. And I think that it's important for me to be here. You
lost the last election in 2008 by 2% to the Bloc candidate, Jean-Yves Roy. What will you do differently this time?
I do a lot of work on with people. You know, I'm in campaign from 2 years from now. I visit a lot of people. I try to know what they expect from their future government. And for me, it's really important to deliver the message that they want I deliver to my party. So
what is that? I mean, we saw the Conservative attack ads in Quebec, okay, and they attacked the Bloc. And they're saying in their ads that this is our power, you know, and that Monsieur Duceppe is to Montreal. What's the Liberal message there against the Bloc, running against the Bloc?
Running against the Bloc is that we can do something for them. Blocs can do nothing, because they can just talk against things, but what they can make really for our region. Our region are poor. We need to have some government and politics to improve our life, and I want to deliver this message to, and our Liberal Party is able to do it.
Mind you, that's a similar message, by the way, to the Conservatives. They're also saying we can get stuff done. Max, what are you hearing? I mean, you're a city councillor there, okay, it's your first time running as a federal. But now this used to be a Liberal riding from '93 to 2008, and then Terrence Young took this for the Conservatives. Yeah. You know the ground there a bit. What are you hearing that people want to see?
I think economics is obviously, the economy is obviously, you know, sailing on most people's minds. But I think they're also, Oakville's it's a very sophisticated, educated community, and they're looking at broader issues as well. They're very, very concerned about our image on, you know, on the international stage. They're concerned about our image as Canada on the environmental issues, and so I think they want to see significant changes there as well.
Just on those issues. You know, we talk about those a lot, you know, the loss of the UN seat,
sure,
the environment. But if you actually look at polls, and we had Bruce Anderson on Harris Decima, we had Frank Graves at ECOS, those issues poll low among voters. Are you saying in your riding that they're higher than the rest of the country? Those are not ballot box issues.
No, I think that, as I said, economy is the most salient. But those are other issues that I think the people in Oakville want us to consider. I mean, I go door to door on a weekly basis, you know, speaking to people and asking what their concerns are, what their issues are, and they're very concerned about our international image.
First of all, hats off to anyone that participates in the public service and throws their hat in. We like that on any party here at Power in Politics. But one of the issues that you'll both have to deal with at the door is the image the parties had. In Quebec, of course, post-sponsorship scandal, it's been very tough. The Bloc loves to resurrect any sponsorship scandal. And then there's the difference between how the brand polls and your leader. And one of the polls is that your leader polls lower than your brand, the Liberal Party. Is the Liberal leader a liability to you or a benefit to you at the doorstep?
It's. I think we need to have some proof of what we are able to do, and the leader can. I think that we have to give a chance to the leader to prove what they are able to do. And now, when I knocked to the door, the people told me, we want to know what you can exactly be able to do for us. We don't want some, critics against some political conservative liberal
You have to have a hard policy.
Yes, we want to know what you can do for us. And I know that the Liberal Party is able to prove to them that we can veritably change the thing in our area.
And what about you in Oakville?
Mr. Ignatieff was out in Oakville, not this Saturday, but Saturday before. And it was interesting. We had a great turnout when he came. And in fact, there was a lot of, as I would call, liberal tire kickers. They came out, they wanted to hear his message, and they were overwhelmed by his profound message. He was very, very charismatic. And I think that the more the leader does these tours, the more the people get to know him. He's very palatable, he's very effective, he's very influential. So I don't think he's a liability at all.
Oakville. It's a reasonably well-off riding, and certainly in most of the areas. Corporate tax cuts, we were just talking about them on the firing line.
Right.
The Conservatives will say the Liberals want to raise taxes, specifically corporate tax cuts, back up, even though they voted for them. How will you respond in your riding to the raising of corporate tax cuts, frankly, in a riding where corporate tax cuts may be an issue?
You know, it's not necessarily the corporate taxes, it's the timing of it. We're coming out of a recession. And it's interesting about this recession. When all the media outlets and all the economists and all the banks were saying that we're heading for a recession, the Conservatives and Mr. Harper were saying there is no recession. And now they have the audacity to say that they want to take recovery from a recession that, according to them, never existed in the first place. So I think that the timing is essential. We already are in a deficit of 56 billion, 54, 56 billion. We're not sure what it is. It keeps changing from day to day. And borrowing money for corporate taxes, I don't think that's going to wash well with the average Canadian family.
So you're ready to fight on that. Well, very interesting. Two Liberal candidates. They're here for, you don't want me to call it a boot camp, for information camp, a gathering session, a powwow, whatever you want to call it. Nancy Charest, Max Kahn, both of you appreciate it, and I know you're throwing your hats into the ring, which is excellent. Good for you both, and we always applaud the public service. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
That's great. Coming up on Power and Politics, the results of our question of the day. Rosemary Barton's back with your highlight of the day as well. Stay with us.